Okay, so from popular demand by my sister-in-law and her friends, I decided to make a video showing how I cut my own hair. A few years ago, really enjoyed nice haircuts and having, stuff looking fresh consistently. But I didn't want to spend $20 every single week to get a haircut. And so I thought maybe I could learn to cut my own hair and then I would save money. So I started and did a lot of really bad haircuts and eventually got decent at it. So I wanted to share my process with people. So I've got a super basic kit from Wall. It was like 20 pounds at the grocery store. And it gets the job done. So let's get into it. Got my mirror here. Sit down. So I got my hair wet. So what I start with is just sort of combing the top stuff towards the middle to make like faux hawk, so it's sort of just out of the way. And then I'll get everything else kind of flattened down a bit, just so I can see the part and the difference in it. Get this stuff in the back down as well. You can use these little clips, they usually come with the package. Now I look completely ridiculous. Generally what I do is I'll take a fork, attach it on there, and I'll just bring that basically all the way up to the top of this line, and then the same within the back where that crown kind of goes around. Okay, so now I've got all the stuff up to a 4 here, and there's obviously some stragglers which I'm going to go over and do with some scissors. But just to explain the technique a little bit, I do kind of a combo of going up straight like you saw, and then I'll also just take it right along the edge horizontally. And since I don't want to bite into the top too much, I'm not super aggressive with it, so I'll leave some stragglers to do with scissors, so I'll show you that now. And same thing goes for the back. I've developed kind of the feeling for where it should end, but you can also use 2 mirrors and be looking forward into the back to see kind of where you need to stop. And usually the sweet spot is just kind of letting the blade or the attachment rise above kind of that circular crown section in the back. So now I'll take the scissors and I'll just kind of look straight down along this edge to see things that are going kind of past the natural line that I've set, and I'll just not making super like jagged straight cuts, but more like easy little chops just to make it more blended. And again, about the length, I choose 4 usually just because that works for my head, because I have kind of a round head, but some folks that have a straighter, more rectangular head will maybe opt for a shorter setting up at the top. It's really just up to your preference and what you find works for your head best. And again, you really just want to get it so nothing sticks out, but after the haircut's over and you shower and stuff and get everything down, then it'll blend in, so it doesn't have to be perfect necessarily. So once I've got that top part done, I'll just go to the straight blade and I'll start from the bottom and take it up to around here. Now this part right now, I'm just doing around my ear and I'm kind of making like a straight line, and for me I usually take it about like ½ an inch to about an inch above my ear in sort of a straight line. But again, you're not going to want to do that same line all the way to the back around. You're going to be creating kind of like sort of like a diagonal zigzag line that goes down, obviously because the hairline is higher up here than it is in the back behind your neck. When you're move to the other side, you can kind of see where you did it here, and then you can trace it to the other side, so it looks about the same. So I'm doing the same thing all around. Since it was about 1/2 inch to 1 inch over here, I'm doing about 1/2 inch in the back as well. And then you see kind of a zigzag line. Once you've got that all around, then up to the next attachment, which in my case is a 1/2. You just want to really like feel and hear the blade actually like biting on the hair, but not much further than that. Alright, and once you've got the 1/2 done, then you can go up to 1. This one's same thing, you're just going until you kind of get some bite. Then on to 2, bring up a little bit higher. And at this stage as well, while you're lining stuff up, you can go sideways and kind of lawnmower it to get your clean edge. Alright, and then once I've got the 2 done, I move on to the 3. And this is the final blend up until the 4 that I did at the beginning. Now that I've got it pretty much done, I'm just going to go through and check for any spots that I missed and stuff that needs to be blended a bit. Some final scissor cuts. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about the top. So I'm not going to do really much on the top today because I'm trying to grow it out a little bit, but just to explain it. Generally, heads are higher in the back, and so the hair can be shorter, but it will still be the same length as the front because it's kind of a gradual thing. So usually what I do is I'll kind of get everything up into a faux hawk again, and then I'll just sort of go back and back until we get to a shorter point back here. So it should be like short, like pretty short back here, a little bit longer, slightly long, and then pretty long up at the front. And then a tip as well for the front is that if you comb it down like this and then just cut straight along, what's going to happen is you're going to actually be shortening all the stuff in the very front as well as the stuff that's kind of medium in the back. And that can cause some really weird looking baby hairs. So it's better to just comb all the stuff up here and then just trim along the top. That way it's going to be more gradual and you're not going to have weird baby hairs. Super weird doing this in the mirror. Spinning the scissors backwards. And another tip as well, I tend to part my hair over this way, which means you're probably going to want the stuff on this side a bit longer than over here, because then it's going to fall and be super long down here and you're not going to have clarity about the fade. So you can keep stuff a bit longer the opposite side of your part and then a bit shorter over here. So one thing you can do is comb everything over and then just see where things sort of fall over the edge and just trim that way, which I'm not going to do today, but yeah. Then you can get everything up like this and you can see notice I'm not doing like sharp, quick clips, I'm more just kind of like doing subtle things. So that way it blends a bit better. The faux hawk method is super good because then you can see where stuff is longest. So if you get it up into a wave faux hawk like this, you can just kind of go right down the middle. Of course, doing more cutting in the back, so it blends gradually into the front, getting longer and longer. It's about good for today's cut. I'm gonna shower and get this cleaned up a little bit, and I'll show you the final product. That's the final product. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Peace.